Let's make crispy beer batter onion rings. Crispy as crazy. And we're gonna begin first with the dredge. And you're probably wondering, well, but the beer batter is more important. And they are both important, but at the right time. And I'll tell you why in a minute. In goes about 200 grams of all-purpose flour or plain flour, call it however you want. And here we're adding half teaspoon of salt and a quarter of teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Now for the white onion, I know some people are like, go for the biggest white onions that you can find and go for white, go for red. I don't know, it just comes to taste. I'm using white onion because this is the most common that you'll find in onion rings. But at the same time, you can go with shallots, and I think it works really, really well when you chop them finely. So you don't necessarily have to go with big white onions to get good results, because it all depends on the situation. Once you cut them, you can pop the big rings out straight into the flour and keep the middle ones because they are too tiny for stocks or soups. Now before we're moving on to making the beer batter, we're gonna get a pan on the heat with a good amount of veg oil, whichever the oil you prefer. Just try to use something neutral so it doesn't influence the taste of your onion rings. Now for the beer batter, we've got here 275 grams of plain flour or all-purpose flour. And by sifting the flour, you're gonna aerate it, and also an aerated flour will result into a nice and aerated honeycomb style batter. We're adding in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now salt and pepper, half teaspoon of salt and about a quarter of teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And to this, we're going in with the beer, and it's important to be cold and it's important to be unopened so it has enough strength and bubbles to keep this aerated, and also the cold part will help with the crispiness. Now mix it, but don't over mix it. You want to make sure that the flour and the beer are well combined, but that's pretty much it, because if you keep mixing it, then all those bubbles will evaporate, and we want to keep them in there to help us with the crispiness of our onion rings. Now the reason we left the beer batter at the end is quite simple. It's because we want to keep all that bubbliness and all that activity that comes from the beer, from the baking powder and from the sifted flour quite fresh and also silky. So that will help, giving us the great results that we're expecting. And if you have a kitchen tweezer, your life will be so much easier when you need to add them into the hot oil. And if you don't have one, I'm gonna leave an affiliate link down below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but at least you get a good tweezer for your onion rings. And make sure that you don't overcrowd your pan. Otherwise, all your onion rings will be one on top of another, getting stuck. And we're gonna cook these for a minute or two on each side, or until they get golden brown in color. When you're happy how they look like, remove them from the heat and put them on a rack. This way the excess fat will drain, and also you're not gonna have the issue where they steam and they get soggy. Once you're done frying, finish with a good amount of sea salt. This is what I call crispy beer batter onion rings. Subscribe to the channel for more simple recipes like this.